Alright, just woke up. It's very close to noon. I need to edit something I filmed yesterday. Then you see the rice cooker over there. Need to cook at least one thing, maybe even two, and film that. Don't need to edit them. Don't know if it's going to be the thing you saw yesterday or the thing you see tomorrow. Then planning on going to Tropicana, and I'm rarely on that side of Atlantic City. I think I'll take the jitney, get off at Caesars, maybe show you inside Caesars, even though there's not poker, and then walk down the boardwalk to Tropicana. Looked like Tropicana was one of the southernmost casinos on the boardwalk, so, and then play poker there. Rarely over there. I was on the boardwalk once. I think I went to a Hard Rock brunch buffet on Mother's Day in 2019 for some reason, and that was, I stepped onto the boardwalk for a few minutes. Didn't like walk up and down, but I just like stepped foot on the actual like wood of the boardwalk. So I guess today will be the second time, and I'll see you in a few hours when I'm done doing stuff around here. Alright, here at the jitney stop outside Harrah's, gotta take it. Not usually on the other side. If I see Caesars, I'll get off, or it's Pacific and Arkansas. Pacific is the road that runs parallel to the boardwalk, 1 block west of the boardwalk. So all the casinos are on Pacific on that side. Caesars is Pacific and Arkansas. Plan on getting off there, walking through, never been in the building, walking down the boardwalk, and then getting to Tropicana. Tropicana has 2 games going right now, probably the best I could hope for on a Tuesday night. Gonna jump into one of them.
Don't you worry about that. They're going to make a good trip.
Alright, off the jitney. That was fun. Forgot about this. First, where did I get off? Why would I get off anywhere else? Got off at Bally's. And it's actually called Bally's, so I might just say Bally's a lot of times. That entrance to Bally's was closed, so I have to walk down towards the Bally's parking garage and enter over there, and then I'll get onto the boardwalk right next to Bally's, and then I'll walk south from Bally's, and I'll get to Tropicana eventually. Forgot this. It's not like on a city bus where you like put change or bills into like a metal box that no one could possibly steal from. You just hand the money to the driver. Always wonder how much money they just take. If that guy, like no one knows if he picks up 1,000 people throughout the day or 900. That guy, if he wanted to, could just be taking tons of cash for himself. Maybe on the way back, I'll try to film me handing the driver the money, which I don't know where else that happens, but I'm gonna get onto the boardwalk, and think this is pretty far south. There's not much more to the south than Tropicana, so short walk once I find the boardwalk. Excellent walk through Bally's. Funny, that guy who just walked past me, he was talking about being turned around. He didn't know where he was. That's funny. I think I'm going in the right direction. I thought Caesars was north of Bally's, but I'm walking what I think is south, and Caesars is right here behind the camera, so it's kind of weird, but hope Tropicana's over there. Maybe I'll stop in and ask somebody, but anyway, gonna enjoy the walk, and I'll see you in Tropicana. Alright, wanted to point out that behind me, you know, you see this like wildlife, well, not animals, but like the ground. It's not, you know, human-made anymore. Behind the land, the water, like that's the Atlantic Ocean. Like in Harrah's, there's water right next to the casino, but you need to, you know, get through this like narrow waterway to get to like officially the Atlantic Ocean. Like right there, when the sand ends, there's water, and that's east. And the next piece of land you would hit going due east is like Spain or something. Like that's the Atlantic Ocean. So that's pretty cool. On a somber note, Today for me is Tuesday, November 19th. On Saturday, November 16th, that was the last day Sahara Poker existed. Sahara in Las Vegas, love playing the poker room. Wasn't very big, best chairs of any poker room I've ever been to in my life. Great games, just not a ton of games. And finally, just traffic was too low, I guess. And they closed the poker room, so that's sad. Great transition though, because right behind me in Tropicana here, Chicky and Pete's, that's the place where I'm probably going to use my Sahara comps now. I was saving them for years to go to Bazaar Meats in Sahara, which is unbelievably expensive, so never going to earn any more comps in Sahara now. But I have comps. Where could I use them? Didn't quite have enough for a Bazaar Meats meal, which is like several $100s, but guess I'm going to be going to Chickies and Pete's and getting some like chicken sandwiches and stuff. So there's that. But now I'm finally walked the boardwalk. Got off a lot farther away from Tropicana than I thought, but here's the building. Gonna get a seat in the poker room. Okay, here before my session in Tropicana, while I was waiting for a seat, took a few pictures, and just want to show you the space. I don't know how many tables get going. There were a lot of tables in there. 2 were running, but love the space in between the tables. Also, took a picture to my left where I was sitting while I was waiting for a seat, pointed towards the tables that were going, just to show you some more space. The chairs were very comfortable. Unlike the chairs in Harrah's, these have wheels on the bottom, and they also adjust up and down. That was one of the problems I didn't mention with one of my problems with the Harrah's chairs. Don't adjust, and it's like difficult to move them along the floor. They don't have wheels. The chips, these were interesting, lighter than most casinos. Not quite so light like those gas station chips when like everyone bought the cheapest set of chips they could find back in like 2005. But yeah, a little lighter than most places, but interesting design, especially that joker on the right. And here, took a picture of the plaque. If you want to see all this information, interesting on this one, there is a screw right through the maximum rake, but I went to another, and it's $5 maximum rake, 10% of the pot, capped at $5. That's a 5 right there. And just on the way out, took this picture because this really bothered me. I understand if smoking totally is prohibited in some areas. I never understand why just cigar smoking is prohibited in some areas, but saw this sign walking towards the cashier through the table games. All right, done playing. Yeah, 2 tables went. At one point there were 2 tables in, I think like 6 on the list, but they never opened a third. Stacked a guy, my first hand. That was nice. Heading back, just walking along the boardwalk. At some point I'll walk a block east and find a jitney stop, and that's going to wrap it up. Shout outs, not from here, long overdue shout outs. The guy I met at Hollywood Granville, that's what I was calling it, Hollywood Casino at Penn National Racecourse, never got his name, but we were chatting for a couple of minutes. He was on the other table that day, his friend was on my table, and CJ from the Horseshoe Baltimore. He left a comment, and then a couple days later, it was one of my last days in town, we were in the room at the same time. So, caught up on shout-outs, and yeah, glad you got to see Tropicana. I had never been in the building, Tropicana Atlantic City, before just now, so that was cool, and I guess that leaves Borgata for tomorrow. Been there plenty of times, but never showcased it on the channel. You going to Harrah's?
Yeah.
And remember, rice is a spoon food.